It's Mother's Day 2015, and I'm here to say or wish my mom a happy Mother's Day. She's been gone actually 12 years today. Well, 12 years and 2 weeks. She died unexpectedly. Me, she was sick, had been sick for a while. She had never stopped smoking, wouldn't stop smoking. Told her 10 years before she died if she would quit smoking that she could probably live to be 80. Well, she lived to be 60. The woman never had nothing in her life. Nothing. Never owned a new car, never owned a house. She gave everything she had to her children and others. So, I've added a couple things to this YouTube, and I just want to add again that kids, grown men, grown women, myself is in that status where you take medication that you shouldn't, or you take medication that you abuse by taking too many, and it leads to one thing, and I'm circling small so you can see. This is just a small part of the cemetery that I lived in and ran when my mother died. She used to walk over to that grave right there, and she used to sneak and smoke. And this boy here is James T. Smart. I buried him. He had just got home from a rehab, and he was out late. About 10 minutes before curfew, his mom calls and says, "Get home." Well, he rushes home. He had been drinking. Cop tries to pull him over. He runs. Ends up hitting a tree and dies. I buried him. Buried a lot of people in the cemetery. The cemetery is huge. So, my house was right there. You see the flagpole? That's where my swimming pool was. You see the flowers that are right in front of the flagpole? That was my bedroom window. So on May 30th, we buried my mother right here. That's my blower. I just cleaned up the area. We buried her here. Me, my sister, and my brother, family and friends, hugged and kissed, and And then I wanted to bury her myself, so I lowered the casket and all. Me and my sister and brother hugged, and everybody went across the way to my house to eat. So me and my 2 employees lowered my mother into the ground, sealed the vault, and I knew she was protected. Well, my brother couldn't come over. He worked for my sister, and he had to go back to Baltimore to get clothes. So he says. So he said. Later that night, about 11 o'clock, my sister was going to call him and check on him. She didn't. The weird thing was, when my mom died, she died, nearly died the night before. And the day she did die, May 25th, Memorial Day, my brother had been drinking real bad, and he had to leave. So he wasn't there when she died at 11 o'clock on the dot. She died exactly when I touched her cheek and said, "Mom, it's okay to go. We're going to protect Stacy. We're going to take care of everything. You're going in heaven." She was always afraid cigarettes would keep her out of heaven. And I don't understand why, but she's in heaven, trust me. So anyway, she died that night. The next morning, my brother was ready to get up and go to the hospital, and his girlfriend kept saying, "Wait, everybody's coming over here." Well, he couldn't wait, so finally she told him he had died. We pulled up to the house to tell him, and he was on the floor crying like a baby. He was 22 years old. So let's go back to where I was saying he went to Baltimore to get clothes. and my sister was going to call him at 11 o'clock just to see if he was okay, but she didn't. We all went to bed. I woke the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning to look at my mom's grave, and there was just flowers here then. And my phone rang. It was my sister. And she said, "Stacy's dead." I said, "What?" I threw the phone. I couldn't believe it. She said, "He's dead. He died in the same hospital in West Virginia that my mother had died." And we live in Maryland, right outside of Baltimore, Washington. So I was in shock and just buried my mom less than 12 hours earlier. So what he had done was he had bought heroin and snorted it. He was taking Xanax. He was taking Tylenol PMs, benzodiazepines, including Xanax, Benadryl, and so forth, and smoking marijuana. So a week later, we buried Stacy right beside his mom, my mom. That's his son's shoe right there. That's his son's shoe. He got to meet his son. But the whole point of all this is, and trust me, I fight this battle every day with prescription pain medicine. I've been in the funeral business all my life, and my back is gone. But kids, take it from a 45-year-old, or take it from a 22-year-old who misjudged what he did, and it took him out of here. Now, I'm sure he's in heaven, but he should be here living. 22 years old is not even, you haven't even started to live yet. So my point is, please stop and think what you're doing. Parents, if you take medication, lock it up. Hide it, take it to work with you, whatever you gotta do, lock it up. Because addicts are the biggest and best liars and the best at finding things they shouldn't have. And they will find a pill or anything, money that you hide. Trust me, they will do it. So today, Mother's Day 2015, I dedicate my mom, who was the best mother in the world. And I know in heaven she's hugging my brother Stacy. But I feel cheated. He should be here with us. And he's not. His son needs him. So please, if you take anything out of my videos, just wake up. Prescription painkillers are killing more and more people in the United States than heroin is. And heroin is just basically the same thing. It comes out in toxicology as morphine. I worked for the medical examiner's office for a while. I know how toxicology comes. It's morphine. So OxyContin, Percocet, it's all the same thing, just made differently, cut differently, and stay away from it if you can. If you use it the way it's supposed to be used. If you have children who's on it, don't ever give up. Get nasty, get mean, get whatever you gotta get, because you don't want to have to come to your son's grave or your daughter's grave on a birthday and on a holiday and say, "If I had only did," ? Appreciate you listening to me, and I pray that this little 22-year-old, who would be 34 today, if he was here, he gave his life. And for stupid pills and drugs. And people say that pills are not like heroin. It doesn't matter if you put it in your arm, you snort it, you swallow it. They're all the same. So don't think that just because you take pills, you're not a heroin addict or any better than a heroin addict. Because they're all the same. Alright? Happy Mother's Day to all you out there that have mothers. Treat them good while you have them. Love them and cherish them. And never let a day go by without telling them you love them. Because we all die sometime. And I would give my life just to have my mom one more time. Thanks.